Well, Nick, we've got some smoking deals for our holiday vacation. I hate smoking. I don't know why the Europeans do it so much. Anyways, I'm gonna pour myself a little bit of like airport prosecco. You know what I mean, guys. And anyways, on a very serious note, all my European friends go to the beach in August, and I'd love to join them there. So I'm going to Italy with a stopover in France on my way home with my good friend Randall Bush from Loki Imports. So Randall, our friend, has been our Neil Rosenthal rep in this marketplace for many years. Learned quite a bit about wine from this man. And when he left Rosenthal to kind of start his own project, I thought, man, this guy's gonna kill it. I mean, he's awesomely talented, great palate, really good guy. And he's gonna find the right wines. So this is August, and this is your Cellar series description. Okay. Gotta take a deep breath. We're gonna go to Piedmont, but it's where Piedmont is like right on the border with Lombardy. So just like south and west of Milan. This doesn't really have a whole lot to do with like the Piedmont that we know, the Langhe, like Barolo and Barbaresco. It really is more like in this transitionary zone of Italy in a lot of ways, kind of the Po River Valley opening up. And this producer, La Colombera, is famous for another grape called Timorasso, but this is their Cortese, which is just their light, fresh, really beautiful, all stainless example of wine that reminds me a little bit of Chablis. A little bit of like kind of these crisp Italian wines that are perfect for hot, like poolside summer days. So yeah, it's a producer I've really kind of come to like in the last couple of years for what they are up to. So so they farm about, let me look at my notes here, my cheat sheet, about 20 hectares of vines, and this is 20 to 40 year old Cortese vines, all in stainless steel, grown on kind of clay and sandstone. Same soil set primarily that you'll see in Barolo and Barbaresco, with a little bit of kind of clay worked in as well. So Elisa Semino, a really passionate, dynamic female winemaker, is kind of pushing the needle with white wines in northern Italy, this part of northern Italy, which is pretty cool. So La Colombera. Going to Cantina Censi. This is their Anticello, and this is a grape called Grechetto from Umbria. And Umbria, if you've never been, like, you should go. It's kind of right in the middle of the country. It's south of Tuscany and north of the Lazio, where Rome is, but it's within kind of striking distance of Rome for a day trip. And if you're in Tuscany, just keep going south as soon as you hit Montalcino, and you're going to be there in no time. The white wines from this area, Grechetto and Trebbiano Spolantino, they're really, really fantastic white wines from central Italy. This is a wine that sees a little bit of skin contact, and it's a farm that has been an active farm since 1389 inside of this family, and they have 30 hectares, 7 hectares of which are under vine. So like I said, it's skin contact, and it sees a little bit of wood during the fermentation, but it's in 7 months in stainless with lots of bâtonnage, like lots of stirring of the leaves to kind of bring texture and weight and kind of just complexity and depth. So really lovely, kind of Umbrian white right there, which is kind of fun for us. So going all the way up to Piedmont, this is Barale Fratelli, and this is a producer that I remember buying this Chardonnay for the shop, gosh, close to maybe 10 years ago. Mike and I were talking about this morning, and like, wow, kind of an old friend back in the store. But Barale is from Barolo, like from the town of Barolo, and they're famous vineyard holdings for red wines for Nebbiolo. The Barolos are Bussia, kind of like that. The vineyards right around Bussia, or around Barolo for the most part. And this Chardonnay comes from Monforte, and it's 40 to 50 year old vines. Again, it's all stainless steel, but again, kind of lots of stirring, so lots of kind of mid palate texture there, but more kind of refreshing summer style Chardonnay. Like a lot of times, like, gosh, Pete, do I want a glass of Chardonnay in the summertime? Well, no. If it's in that more opulent, rich style, but if it's fresh and more often than not stainless steel or concrete, like, the wines can be great. There's just more depth and dimension to the wine, and like that's kind of what it's all about. So really lovely little Langhe Chardonnay here from a famous Barolo producer, which is kind of fun. going to Italy's Adriatic coast. This is the Marche. Sorry, not the Marche. Abruzzo, the Italian state just south of the Marche, called Abruzzo, which I have never been to, and I've always wanted to go to. They've got lots of national parks in this area, snow-capped mountains along the Adriatic coast. But on the flanks of those kind of mountains, kind of rushing down to the sea, they grow Montepulciano, and they make red wines from it, and they also make these amazing rosés called Cerasuolo. Cerasuolo meaning like, cherry-like, and they're deeply colored, they're tannic, they're powerful. They are like light red wines in a lot of ways, but they lean towards rosé. But this is not like this like pretty little Provençal rosé. Like this has like some gusto. This can go with grilled fish. It can go with grilled meats. On a hot, sweaty day when you want to drink a red wine, but you don't want to drink a red wine, like boom, right here. So Caprera is a producer that is an ambitious kind of farming operation that was really started in 2012 by two friends. It's all biodynamic. They've got 22 hectares, of which primarily they're growing olives and wheat, and a little bit of Montepulciano and some white grape as well. So really cool wine. Yeah, really cool wine. Buondono. So Buondono is a Chianti Classico producer. Don't forget Chianti Classico, the great terroir for Sangiovese in Tuscany, in my opinion. Brings more freshness and elegance than you'll see down in Montalcino with the Brunello. It's just such a dynamic zone. I had a chance to spend about a week there a couple years ago, and just kind of blew my mind. Like I'm forever kind of fascinated by Chianti Classico these days. From Castellina, an operation that was, Castellina is one of the villages in Chianti Classico. High elevation of 450 meters above sea level. And a project that was started in the late 80s. They've been biodynamic since the late 80s as well, making really lovely, almost entirely Sangiovese, 90%. I think there's about 10% mix between Syrah and Merlot. So there's a juicy kind of quality to the wine also. Yeah, 20 to 25 day fermentations, 7 to 8 months in a combination of steel and concrete. And kind of like, I mentioned concrete twice now, I'm like, it continues to be more of a conversation piece about the importance of concrete, creating these elegant, expressive, fresh, yet developed wines. And then 1 year in barrel before release. I love Chianti Classico. We should all drink more of it. These $30 to $40 bottles of Chianti Classico on our shelves are awesome when you pull the cork and you take it home. They're awesome 2 years later. They are usually awesome 5 to 10 years later. Like, what more do you want? They go great with just about everything. Pasta, steak, all that stuff. As I'm flying home out of, where am I going to fly home from this time? Let's say Naples. We're going to go all the way down to Naples and have some fish and some limoncello. Let's say we fly home, and we're going to connect to Charles de Gaulle, and we're going to stop over and spend a little bit of time in the Loire River Valley. And we're going to taste some Cabernet Franc. Cabernet Franc is also this great variety for summer drinking. They're low alcohol, they're high acid, they're kind of crunchy and tannic. These mineral red whites that, have this, I don't want to say a limited band of expression, but they don't have this great textural depth. They have cut. They're like a sharpened knife that kind of come across your palate. And I love that come hotter month and kind of drinking, so definitely chill down, your Cabernet Franc, stick it in the ice bucket, and you'll be surprised how refreshing these styles are. So this is the Encore bottling from La Folie Luce, from Sommer Champagny. And, this is, Cabernet Franc planted on these sandy limestone soils, all hand harvested, all native yeast, like all the things that we kind of want out of our organic farming, kind of partners. So a newer project, a guy who moved his family from Paris, I think in 2009, from his IT job, kind of a classic guy who's like, I don't know, probably sitting at a desk being like, man, I dream of being a farmer and a winemaker, and here we are talking about his wine. So, yeah, pretty awesome. This is, our kind of spectrum and kind of tour of Italy and France with our friend Randall Bush from Loki, and really, truly an importer to watch. and a personality that that we're really excited to be working with. So, bravo, Randall. Ciao, amico. It's August. It's kind of the dog days. We got the state fair at the end of the month. Whatever you do, drink well, eat well, be with friends, open these up at the lake, and enjoy your time. Ciao.